Oh, imagine if Walter White's name was Watler White.
Watler White? Why?
I don't know, just cause. Anyway, let's go. I have a challenge for you, Del.
Mm-hmm.
For this whole video, you're not allowed to say the phrase, "What do you think?"
What do you mean by that?
What are your thoughts?
I did
Yeah,
that
what are your
with
thoughts on this? What do you think?
What are your thoughts? What are you
What's your
thinking?
opinion on this?
What do you think, fucking?
How
Yeah,
does this
you're not allowed
sink
to
in
say-
with you?
You're not allowed to say anything or any variation of that. That's my challenge to you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our
Hi.
You know what? We're going with it. I was gonna say super unprofessional community update video, and honestly, that worked flawlessly. I am joined by Maxie and Godfoot for said video. Say
Hi.
hello, gentlemen.
Hi.
Not you, Maxie. You already said hello.
How's it going, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. You know, my name's Godfoot after all.
It's pretty good. But we wanted to do one of these videos because every other channel does one of these videos, and we're conformists. So I wanted to basically go over the first year of content that we made, talk about that entire experience, and let people know about a bunch of stuff that was going on behind the scenes. And then, of course, you know, figure out the saga period where Maxie showed up, and then talk about what we're doing next year. Since we started in February, I'm just gonna round up and say we did it for a year. I think that's fair. What do you think, Godfoot? Fuck,
You
I did
broke
it.
the
I already
challenge
failed
already.
it.
You broke the damn challenge half a minute into the video.
Now we got to talk about our video, I suppose. So yeah, Maxie, you joined us about 6 months in.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it was about 6 months in or so. And we had been doing a lot of stuff beforehand. I know we launched in February of 2022. That was after about a year of preparation and planning, where we had a bunch of things that we wanted to do that was supposed to happen, that was really supposed to help launch the channel, but none of those things happened. So we kind of like did it live for the first, I'd say 2 or 3 months, right, Godfoot?
Like the year before we started our channel, the launch day, we would go out like almost every day to go buy equipment for the studio and stuff, get equipment for like recording and set up and do cool shit. And it was a really fun time. Like just the excitement, the pre-planning of making this channel and starting it off as a little baby, you know, little baby boy, you know?
Okay, yeah, that's not what I would phrase it, but all right, keep going.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a crazy ride, and it's still been a crazy ride. It got even better when we got Max on, you know? That kind of really shaped the channel as like a full group, you know, the boys, right?
So for anyone that doesn't know, we had another editor. His name was Josh. He was a great dude. But we had a lot of conflicts and arguments on a creative level. And essentially, for the first 2 or 3 months that you saw videos on the channel, closer to 4 months, everything that was on there and everything that was made by Josh. And because I had never done my own freeform content before, and because we didn't know the format of like how we wanted to do the reviews, you can go back and you can watch these videos and see that drastic amounts of things changed from like the first video, which I believe was Horizon or Warhammer, the reviews on those things in February, to like what reviews are like now. We managed to fix the flow. We got a lot more comedic stuff in. Obviously, with a new editor, Maxie, that joined us at 6 months, things changed. But it was really wild to see just how much our content evolved in not only quality, but like professionalism over just such a short period of time. And you know, like Maxie said, about 6 months in, I think you said it was it April or July or something? I think it was April, you said, right?
So I don't know when exactly you guys count the launch of the channel. If you count it from the day that you launched your first video or uploaded your first video, then I came in 3 months later because I did the press preview for Chaos Gate.
That's true. Yeah,
that's right.
And that was what you hired me for. So that was like you lost your editor. You were like, we need to get this fucking video done, and you found me on Fiverr, and then we just started talking and working from there.
Yeah, so we definitely prepped and we had done a bunch of content before we actually launched the channel. I was lucky. I was really lucky. I had an awesome management company, which is SideQuest Media, that's helped us a ton with getting stuff and early keys and things for reviews and just like opportunities we wouldn't normally have. And luckily back in February of last year, everyone will remember that there was like 16 games or something that released in the span of like 10 days, like Elden Ring and everything else. So that was
hell.
That was so crazy. I got lucky because I was given like 7 press keys early and managed to get all those reviews done, but it was brutal. And honestly, like the whole year was just like just sprinting. It felt like we were just going from video to video. We were churning out content. We were trying new things. We were changing formats. Maxi like said, you know, we found him on Fiverr. Can I just say that was one of the worst experiences of my entire life? Was like not getting to you, Maxi. Like meeting you was awesome, and I knew that we were gonna work together because the first time that I called you, you were off in the distance and said cunt or something, like way off. You're like 1 second cunt, and you came to the computer and talked to me. But like before that, I had tried to find like 10, 12 different editors, and I tried talking to them. None of them spoke English. Nobody understood what I was wanting. It was clear that these were like shady corporations and like individuals who were like 1% good at what they needed to do to be able to do the jobs. It was awful. And I found I found Maxi, almost called you Assy.
Yeah, you just call me ass. I found ass. Dal, don't use my pet names in videos, bro.
I'm sorry. Look, that's another
be
saga we have to talk
for our
about.
dungeon.
But anyway,
No.
so I just knew that Maxi would be a good fit just because I knew he spoke English. And honestly, that was the criteria at that point. But he was far and beyond better than anybody else I could have hoped for. And it was genuinely a huge breath of fresh air to the channel because Maxi had a lot of ideas for his own comedy, a lot of things that were really unique in how he edited stuff. And it just combined with what Godfoot and I was doing so well that I can go back and I can look at the stuff like after the first few videos. Cause like you said, you tried with the Chaos Gate thing, and then we started doing reviews together and like talking about that and working through and figuring out how I did stuff and figuring out how you did stuff. The quality spiked.
There was definitely like, if you watch the old videos, like not to say that Josh was a bad editor or anything like that, but there was a lack of flavor, you know what I mean, in a lot of the videos. And I really wanted to, if I was going to be hanging around and doing more and more videos, I wanted to bring that flavor to every video. I wanted the whole video to be engaging, you know? So that was
100%. I mean, you can clearly see the line when you joined, and then just blossoming as a creator and just editing. You can see your influence going harder and harder to videos, and the videos you guiding them and like making them, you know, just really stand out. Honestly, it was really, really cool to see, like putting your personality in the videos mixed with Del's. It was cool as hell.
I think one of the big things that him and I talked about too, and people in the comments can definitely talk about what favorite interaction we had, like Maxi and I, was that when I first talked to him, I wanted to have like a genuine, you know, like relationship in the videos with the editor versus the content creator, in the sense of like the best example that comes to mind is Lixian and Markiplier. I said, I don't want you to be just a silent editor. I didn't want Maxi to just not be a personality or not have his own comments, not have his own things. And so I told him, you know, talk shit about me in the video, like put comments that tell me I'm wrong, anything like that. Like just go completely hard and add your own flavor, like you said, to it. And you did a great job. And honestly, our content has gone way beyond what I thought it could, just based on having you join the team and working with us. So it's been a really good time. And it's been hectic. Like, I'm not gonna lie and say that the first year was easy by any stretch of the imagination. It was
absolutely not.
It was a very, I guess, humbling experience to realize how much work goes into something like making a review once a week, or even sometimes twice a week, and then doing the news on top of that, just with everything else that I'm doing, because obviously I do Twitch almost full time. And so just adding that all together, there were days where I felt like I just couldn't exist. And the burnout was real, which practically leads into the next thing we want to talk about. But I just want to say, Maxi, like everything you've done for the channel has been fantastic. And I am genuinely glad that you're here doing stuff with us, because being good friends with you and just being able to exist in that same space has helped me get out of multiple like creative ruts. Because Maxi has a lot of good ideas and he brings a lot of value to the channel in terms of just being willing to sit down and just hang out and shoot the shit and just pitch ideas back and forth. And
yeah, he's a really strong personality.
I can safely say I would have burned out a lot sooner if I didn't have I didn't have as strong as an editor as you, just straight up like supporting my creative drive and like helping me not flatline.
And I think that's it. I think that what we discovered pretty early on was that, especially between yourself and I, Dale, at the start, because Godfoot, when I came into the channel, Godfoot was really, really busy with out of the channel work stuff.
Yeah, he has a job like a loser.
Yeah, right. And so Dell and I would spend time just talking about like, you know, what upcoming videos and what we were going to do, and we'd go back and forth talking a lot. And that's kind of how I started to get more involved in things like the news. And then, I'd always wanted to get into like review writing and long form content, and Dell was like happy to teach me and help me with script writing and all that kind of stuff. So it was a really good kind of way for Dell and I to connect, because Godfoot and I connected almost immediately because he's just a massive goofball.
Yeah, you both are. You both are definitely goofballs.
Yeah, but Dell and I connected on like the creator front, because like even though it's not nearly as big, I have a YouTube channel, I have a TikTok, I have a Twitch, and all that kind of stuff.
Plug it all on the screen, Maxi.
But it's just going to be the wrong name.
No, I'm serious. Plug it. Everybody go follow his stuff. If the names are wrong, check the description. I'll put them down there.
And then I feel like we've just constantly been improving each other. If you look at like, I don't know, the video that just came up, the Battlefield 2042. I feel like the first 10 minutes of that, like where it's just like really heavily edited, I feel like that's one of my best flowing videos that I've ever edited before.
That was absolutely one of your best videos. That editing enhanced the content so much. It was really crazy.
And then like one of my favorite videos, the cyberpunk discussion, like that video's funny as, like that's so funny. And all the news stuff as well. Like it's been really cool to kind of watch the channel grow. And yeah, like it hasn't grown in terms of like numbers the way that we wanted to, but I don't think anybody can be like, nah, quality's not there, because it definitely is. So, and it's really cool to be a part of.
And I wanted to definitely bring that up, since you good transition with you mentioning it, is our original goal for the first year was to hit 50,000 subs. Now, a lot of this was basically prefaced on the idea of people that we've worked with in the past pushing us as hard as they suggested they were going to push us. And we planned a lot of our growth metrics and everything around that. But I agree with Maxi completely that the content is better than most channels that do the same stuff as we do. And there's no question on whether or not these videos are worth like 100, 200K views, things like that. But YouTube is a very hostile ecosystem. And one thing that's worth mentioning is we launched at the literal worst time we could have launched. And this isn't just me, saying stuff like hyperbole. This was from a YouTube rep to me in private messages. I launched at the worst possible time I could have hit launch on that first video with Godfoot. Essentially what had happened is YouTube Shorts had become a thing, and the algorithms were supposed to be separate, but they weren't. One algorithm was directly impacting the other. And for about 3 months, YouTube's algorithms thought the only thing that they should promote and the only thing that they should ever show to anyone, including subs, were shorts, because videos under 3 minutes were super popular. And so by launching long form content over 10 minutes in those 3 months, right as that happened and no one was aware of it, it kind of just took 3 months of work and through it. But I don't feel like that work was lost. It was just like the cards really landed poorly on the table for us. I know a lot of people like the news, but it really got to a point where we were just doing the news to do the news. And it felt like the news lost. We didn't lose personality as people, but it kind of lost like that spark, in the sense of every news felt the same. If you watched like 3 news episodes back to back, it was the same. And that sort of stuff works great when you have like a very, very large base of people that just want to know your opinion, but it doesn't really innovate to do something just to fill that video slot to help the algorithm. We really had to sit down and chew that information, because it was completely true, right? I mean, even with like some Let's Players, you have like really funny interactions where you go back and watch it. You'll go rewatch it like 2 or 3 times over the course of like 5 years. But you don't do that with stuff like news videos. It's like, yeah, Maxi did awesome editing it. It has a lot of footage in the background. It's really solid, but nobody's ever going to go back and watch that. No new person on the channel is going to go back and binge watch all the news articles. Like, it just doesn't matter. It's basically dead as far as like, you get your enjoyment out of it, and I'm glad it was entertaining, but past that point, it doesn't ever have a chance to get viewed again. I think it's safe to say that all 3 of us don't want to do videos like that. We want to do videos where not only do we have a lot of fun doing them, but it's clear that it's fun for the viewers to watch, and it's something you can go back and watch, that, if something happens with related game, you go back and watch it, or you just thought it was so funny, some of the stuff we were doing, that you just go back and watch it to have a laugh for certain segments. And that's kind of the focus we're going to be having going forward on the channel, is just doing things that we feel are impactful and putting more effort into every video with a lot more, like jokes and editing thrown in, rather than just trying to churn stuff out on a set schedule like robots. And one of the things we realize is that the videos where the most extravagant dumb stuff is being said, or I'm actually upset, like one of our most rewatched videos on the entire channel is the Saints Row review, and it's because I'm just so upset. The editing is so good. It doesn't matter the game came out a couple months ago. It's an entertaining video, And I think that's where I want to get to with the reviews specifically. And it's where we want all our content to get. It's just like, it doesn't matter what it's about or what it is. It needs moments, and we want to cater to those moments where you're like, it's just so funny to watch him lose his shit over this thing. I'm going to go back and watch that. And it's like with anything we do, like I think the Battlefield video too will be relevant for like every Battlefield release going forward, because it sets like a landmark of for what we can compare to and like what they did wrong. And the same thing with anything, like you said, the retrospective series. I know that Godfoot and I were going to record another one this week just to like get to on that playlist with Halo Infinite. And then obviously your idea of Diablo, I was going to sit down and ask you guys to be like, hey, before Diablo 4 comes out, like a week before, let's do a retrospective on Diablo 3 and everything that was wrong with that, and talk about like the Error 37s and everything and all that crazy history of that. So there's a lot of stuff we want to do, but we don't want to be forced to do it on any sort of insane schedule. Going forward with our content on the channel, you're going to still get reviews, obviously. You know, there will be a couple reviews every now and then. You'll get really unique long form gaming content. We really want to try to do new gaming stuff. Obviously, the retrospective was a new thing. I think the whole 10 minutes of super good history, teaching, learning, good editing, and then also just the 10 minutes of just like chill listening on the side of your monitor. I think that's a really awesome combo, because let's all admit, you got about 10 minutes of focus before you move it off your screen and just listen with any video these days. So it just works. And I want to do real life content. We want to start doing like fun stuff with the news desk and adding skits to our reviews and actually doing green screen things. And like, even if we do like a solo review that's like written by me, I want to get Maxi and Godfoot in on it, doing their own thing, adding to it. And we just have a lot of ideas, but it's not going to be videos at the same rate anymore. You're not going to get, and that's the one thing, is we're not doing the news anymore unless it's like a crazy article we can get a whole video on. And it's, don't get me wrong, and don't get us wrong, it's going to be mostly gaming content still. Like that's going to be like good 80-90% of the channel. Yeah. But there may be just some weird one-off videos that you just really enjoy, or that are just, we thought was a really good idea that we put on the channel, because I think the channel will grow better. And honestly, like the last two videos kind of showed that we were getting more people subscribing and liking the content when we're just being ourselves and it's not forced. And we're just having fun and doing things at the rate we want to, rather than just being forced to do things consistently. And it's just, it feels freeing and it feels way more real. We don't feel like robots. At least I don't.
100%. That's part of my difficulty of, you know, making proper reviews to the channel. I mean, you know me, going off on tangents on like mechanics and the details of everything, and then it goes on to become like a multi-page essay. And you guys are like, can you stop? like, is there a point where this ends? You know, but it's just with this more free content, we could just, you know, mesh together as a proper organization. And
that's what's so crazy too. And this is like something is, if you guys are listening and there's any of you that are not subscribe, like people subscribing to channels seems to be like non-existent these days. And so like, we're genuinely asking, if you like the content, follow the channel, drop a subscribe on the channel, whatever it's called, all these fancy kids with these terms and stuff. But it's nice to do the content, but it's also crazy to see some of the metrics in regards to just like, we'll get a video that gets like 70-80K views and we get like 21 subs out of it. If you guys have any opinions on how people are, or like what you think would be most effective to encourage people to sub to the channel in general, just like to get those people that are enjoying the content clearly to just subscribe to more videos, let us know, because I'm out of ideas. And I think a lot of us are really just curious what's working. Let us know what works on you, because we're willing to figure it out and work around it. But you know, we got to obviously figure out the best ways to do stuff while we're doing this new content format. So
I have my own idea for the channel as a whole. You guys aren't going to like it, but I think it's going to be great. We turn it into a Yakuza content only.
If you watch the videos, like, let us know. Comment why you clicked. Like, if you're new to the channel and you just saw us on your recommended, let us know what made you click. And then as you started watching, if you ended up subscribing, let us know why. Is it because you thought it was funny? Was it informative? Like, what are you looking for?
And a great example of that we're really looking towards is like the retrospective video. That's because every time we've done long form content like that, the comments are just littered with people saying do more long form content. I feel like YouTube's at the point where people either want like 30-second videos or 20-minute plus videos. And it was really nice to see that you like it when we ramble and you like it when there's fancy, flashy editing on the screen for like 30 minutes straight. So yeah, thank you for that. That was a lot of you commented on the long form videos saying we want big breakdowns and discussions of singular topics and singular games rather than, you know, just like news being thrown at you for 20 minutes. And that's what we're going to do. I mean, it's fun. The retrospectives are going to be really fun. And there's a lot of games. And honestly, the retro games thing was like one of Maxie's original ideas is, you know, why don't we go back and do reviews on things? And I was like, okay, but how do we transform that to be unique? And that's part of what the retrospective thing is just, hey, like this is a new way of bringing stuff up. It gives you history. It lets us all talk about it and include as many people as we want in the actual discussion. And honestly, it lets Maxie do really banger editing.
Well, yeah, and that's it. And we don't know what's going to stick and stuff like that. Like, but right now we're going to be trying stuff. And that is the main point, is that there's going to be things that we're working on that might not, like, you might be like, oh, this is new and this is different. And we really want your feedback on that kind of stuff.
But yeah, with that, I think that's a good ending point for the video, unless you two gentlemen have anything else you'd like to say. I'd like to say thank you guys for watching and supporting the channel this long for this first year. And I guarantee this next year is going to be better content. I think it's going to be way more entertaining. I think we've learned a lot. I mean, our thumbnails alone, dude, are like the best on YouTube now for gaming.
Damn
like,
good
period.
thumbnails.
End of story.
Good.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you did. Answer all the comments that we asked you to comment on down below. And let us know what you want to see us do in the future. And always with game coverage and stuff, let us know if there's any games coming out in the next few months that you want us to talk about. Let us know if there's any retrospectives that you would like us to do videos on, like games that came out and failed miserably. Oh my God, we should do Dragon Age 2.
Oh no.
I forgot that game existed.
Racing games time. Let's do some fucking racing games. Come on. Let's get some I want to see us become Ctrl+Alt Racing. All right.
Let's
I want
do
to see
a
some car
retrospective
reviews.
on Ridge
This
Racer.
is how we pursue this channel. We become the ultimate, not Top Gear, but in this case, Del Gear.
Well, no, but Dell and I have spoken, and I'm going to do a series on the Yakuza games.
Oh, well, hey,
Yeah,
look,
They're not very good. So
Hey, what's
I'm
this?
going to do.
No,
I'm going to do
whoa.
a
Hey, whoa,
tear
stop.
down
No,
of the
no,
Yakuza series.
no,
'cause,
no,
like,
no.
I think it's important for people to know that
hey,
series
whoa,
is pretty
whoa,
bad.
whoa.
But anyway, yeah. So
Yeah,
Del,
yeah,
I think
like the video.
Hey, no.
Yeah.
Who,
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Until the next video, this is Del with Maxie and Godfoot, and we'll be seeing you. Bye.
Bye.
bye-bye.